Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Rider Club Radio. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Liam.
And I'm Tomaz, back again for a little while.
Oh, wow.
He's back for one more.
Just one episode, and then he's fired forever.
Just one, and then I'm gone.
Yeah.
Until the next one.
Oh, shit.
I appreciate that he didn't wait for me to try and introduce him and then cut me off this time. That was great.
You know what? It would be old. It would be an old joke.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's start over again.
Twice.
We gotta get that in here.
Yeah, okay. Welcome to Rider Club Radio.
Alright, in this episode of Rider Club Radio, we're gonna be discussing Kamen Rider X8 episode 18, Space Sentai Kyuranger episode 1, and 20 episodes of Fives or something.
6 for you, 3 for me.
6 for me. If I watched them this time.
Yeah, Tomaz didn't watch it, so he's gonna have to put on the dunce cap and sit out of Moshi Moshi Fives.
Man, I wish I could.
I'm pretty sure both of you are putting on the dunce cap to watch Fives.
It's a good show. It's a good show.
Oh my god. Anyway, Liam, why don't you give us the rundown of what happened in Kamen Rider X8 episode 18?
Okay, so this week, in a very special episode of Kamen Rider X8, Dan the Man decides to lure the riders to a fight. He uses the game sickness on the Burger Man, game developer from last episode.
Sakuru.
What's his name?
Sakuru.
You always know these names. Sakuru. He infects him with the game illness so that they detect the bugster and they come and they go to cure him, and Dan is there and he says, "I'll kill you." And he beats him up and he takes Taiga's Gashats, and now X8 is the only one who has any Gashats. He uses the bike guy as bait. If you remember from back when they do the laser episode, he uses that bike man.
Motors.
Rotors?
Motors.
Thank you.
Like it's a 1995 Super Nintendo game where the S is a Z.
Yeah.
Dude, I play the shit out of that game.
Motors. He uses motors as bait, and there's a big explosion, and everyone fucks off, just like every fight in X8 ends, except... he takes Snipe's Gashats, too. He beats him up and takes his Gashats. He says, "I'm not even going to kill you. I got your Gashats now. Who cares?" So he leaves. And he goes back to his abandoned arcade room, and he says, "I'll use these Gashats, and I'll make an upgrade for Snipe and Brave." And here it is. It's Tattle Fantasy and Bang Bang Shooting Simulation. So it's another one of those...
Is that the actual name of it? Bang Bang Shooting Simulation?
I think it's either Bang Bang Simulation or Bang Bang Shooting Simulation. It's something like that. I think
it's Shooting Simulation, because I was trying to see the name of it, and I still saw Shooting, and and I didn't see the fantasy part, so I'm like, wait, did he just put two of them in one? What's the upgrade?
It's another dual Gashat. He makes a dual Gashat, and he says, "Yeah, I'll make it for I won't make a better Dangerous Zombie or anything. I'll just make Tattle Fantasy and Bang Bang Simulation for these other guys." Dan decides he wants Emu's Gashats now. He's sick of Emu going around. So he lures Emu out, also using Bike Man. And What's-His-Mahoo's and Burger Man is dying of the illness. And they got him Burger Boy is dying of the illness. So they lure him out with Bike Man. Emu has a big fight with him. And just when Dan is about to finish off Emu, he kills the Bike Man. He's like, "Well, Bike Man, you motors, you've served as bait, now you're dead. So fuck you." And he goes to kill Emu, and then Parrot comes out and he says, "You know what? I'm sick of you treating bugsters like they're just pawns. I'll punch you." And he punches him. Yeah, he beats the fuck out of Dangerous Dan. And right as there's a big explosion, and then Dan's about to die, and he says, "You know what? I'll fuck with your precious dream. I know you want to beat Emu so bad, but I'll mess with it." He says, "Hey, Emu, you got the game illness." And Emu's like, "What?"
Yeah, who knew that they were right when they said it'd be bad if he found out?
It's very bad.
Who thought? Yeah, who thought that he would just immediately go, "Me?" and just fucking explode?
Well, you know what? They easily could have been wrong about it, but
yeah,
instead of that, they're just like, "Oh no, he does that because the writers say he does." That's honestly what it felt like. It's like, "Oh no, he freaks out because we need this to happen."
It just seems like, they'd be like, "You have the game illness," and he'd be like, "Oh no, we should operate."
Yeah, let's
But instead
operate.
of that, he's like, his mind is so fucking blown that he just turns into a spout of special effects.
He knows more than anyone that the game illness is triggered by stress, and that it can be cured pretty easily if he just gives his Gashats to Brave.
Yeah. But the idea that if he gets stressed, it'll make him die. It stresses him out so much. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh,
there
my
it is.
God. Jinx, you owe me a luxury sedan.
No, come on, man.
Again.
I can't afford a third luxury sedan this month. You gotta stop with this.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say a third one. Oh, a third one this month. Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds more right. Like, I'm pretty sure we're all up to, like, 600.
600. I just have every fucking parking spot in my entire city as my car. Anyway.
Speaking of full-size luxury sedans, I liked this episode more than the last few. Not that that's a high bar.
Yeah.
But I like, it starts off and Dan says, oh, I'll lure him into a fight. And I was like, oh, okay, fuck. Like, I was really getting sick of Dan's shit. How he'd like, oh, there'll be a bugster. Dan and Parrot appear. There's a big fight, there's a big explosion, everyone fucks off. And it does kind of happen once in this episode, but I'm glad they do something with that structure this time and actually have shit happen.
This episode feels like the sort of thing that could have happened like 5 episodes ago, in that Dan has done this, like, this is all he does. Except this time he decides, no, this time I'm actually going to do something about it. And I'm just like... Okay, so what's different about this time? Why do you now decide now is the ripest time to perform these actions?
I love how Parrot is like, you killed those bugsters, you heartless monster, and 100% correctly, Dan goes, are you fucking kidding me? You just killed one last week. And Parrot's like, well, that was different. That was right. What you did was not.
He says
we have rules, and that broke my rules.
His excuse is really flimsy. It's like, well, the goal of the fucking gun game is to kill General Gun Guy, but the goal of the race game isn't to kill the race guy, it's to race the race guy.
You're, like, giving him too much credit. You're, like, explaining it way better than he did. He was just like, there's rules in place, you gotta follow them or else.
And didn't even say what the rules were, because honestly, they don't matter.
No, apparently you can just make a really tasty burger and it would cure all of them, but just kill them. Just kill them.
You know, what this seems like, I didn't watch enough Ghost, but this seems like the kind of thing that would turn, I don't even know the other writer, Takoyaki Man.
Oh, his name is...
Necrom.
Necrom. Yeah. Elaine, whatever.
Alan.
Elaine from fucking Seinfeld.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah. This seems eerily similar to something that might happen in Ghost, in that it's, oh, well, you're treating my people badly, and so I'm going to be a good guy because you're being bad to me and, like, my entire race of people. Is that at all what happens?
No.
No?
Not really.
It's no.
Well, it still feels really cliche.
Like, Alan becomes a good guy in Ghost because he really likes this fucking old lady that keeps making him takoyaki.
Yeah.
Really?
And then she dies, and he's like, "Well, I'm a good guy now."
It's the beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty stupid.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a very bad show.
You didn't watch it for a reason, Tomaz. It was a garbage TV show.
That's neither here nor there. Maybe I like this episode a little bit better than you guys because it feels like the plot's finally moving in a direction again. It felt like it stalled out for like 4 or 5 episodes.
I agree. I agree, and I do enjoy the episode. I just see it as okay, now finally they're going to do the things that actually make sense again.
Yeah, exactly. It's a breath of fresh air. That's what I'd say. It's just like I was getting sick of Dan's shit. I was getting a little sick of X-Aid shit. Never thought I'd see that or say that. But this episode, like, I feel like is getting the show back on track, back to where I liked it. You know, back in the beginning episodes where shit was happening and things were a little surprising.
I really like the ending, like from when Parrot starts kicking Dan's ass until the end of the episode is gold.
Yeah.
Because you get to see Dirty Dan get some fucking payback. Like, he gets paid back finally, gets his ass kicked. And he actually, like, untransforms. He gets his ass kicked. We didn't even know that could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he gets his shit slapped around so hard that he turns back to normal. And he's like, you know what? Well, yeah.
As normal as he gets.
He's like, you know what? Fuck you Parrot, I can't beat you in a fight, but I'm gonna fucking destroy your dreams. And he laughs the most genuinely, like a real asshole laughs in this episode of any character in Kamen Rider history.
It's pretty great.
I really thought Dan was gonna die in this episode, or at least soon, when he's talking in the abandoned arcade to Parrot, and he's like, God, I fucking hate Juju Burger, and I can make video games. Here's this video game I made. And the light, like, there's a light shining on his face from off screen. He's like, I'm a game master. I'm God. I'm better than God. And I was like, this guy, well, he's gonna die in like 2
episodes. And it shows Parrot's face, and he has this look on his face like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy before the episode ends.
So when Parrot starts beating him up, I was like, oh, okay, this is when Parrot takes the place as the main villain, right? Not quite, but I feel like it might happen soon. We'll see.
I would hate if that happened.
I do love Dan. I wouldn't want him to go.
I enjoy that Dan is just like a genuine, like, crazy piece of shit. Like, that's really the best way to put it. He's a crazy piece of shit.
Yeah, that's what he is. His plan is to make Ryuki. He wants to turn random people into riders and make them fight to the death. That's Kamen Rider Chronicle.
Well, he is a big Ryuki fan.
He must be.
You know what? You talk about the final villain changing, right? I feel like the final villain isn't going to be Dan Kuroto. It's going to be Daddy Dan.
Masamune.
Dan Masamune. I think he's going to be the final villain.
Yeah, I'm interested for when they bring him back, whenever they do that.
Yeah, but if they don't, that'll be the weirdest fucking scene that's ever existed. That they're just like, Dan Kuroto's dad is in prison for some heinous crime we can't fucking talk about, and he looks like a monster. But forget about that.
Yeah,
they wouldn't have made him look interesting if they weren't going to bring him back.
I hope so. It's hard to tell with Kamen Rider. With Tokusatsu in general, they can set up a really cool idea and then literally never touch it again.
Yeah, I've seen shows do that before. It's X8 isn't really a show that does that. If X8's got any problems, it's repetition.
Yeah,
it doesn't waste its ideas, really.
It's sort of a modern Kamen Rider problem anyway. Like, I feel like Drive was the big switch up when it started becoming really repetitive.
Yeah.
Like, with Chase is where it really started to get repetitive.
Yeah.
And, even later on, like, Heart starts to show up to a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
in the middle, anyway.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's like fucking Gold Drive is at every fight scene. And he's real strong, and he has a real evil plan.
But not yet.
But not yet. And then, like, Ghost was nothing but repetition for the whole series. And there's so much repetition in X8 as well. And for anyone who's listened to this podcast before, and anyone who knows me, repetition is the thing that aggravates me the most out of anything in the fucking planet. So it's a miracle that Liam was the one who was bothered by it first in X8.
What the heckity who?
I don't know.
When I was showing X8 to my friend, I remember I mentioned this a couple times. I'm showing X8 to a non-Kamen Rider friend, and every time Genom appears, kicks somebody's ass, and then doesn't kill them, he'll beat them up, they'll untransform, and then I'll just hear him off to the side going, "All right, now kill him. Why are you walking away?"
Where are you going? What do you have to do right now? What is more important than this? He's like, I got a flower garden. I gotta go back home and water that shit 6 times a day, so...
Yeah, he just beats him up and he's like, alright, that's enough. I think they learned their lesson. I'm gonna leave.
They're definitely not gonna bother me again.
Yeah.
I got something in the slow cooker. I gotta get home.
I gotta get home and crank one out before Roseanne.
What?
Not during Roseanne. He's not that crazy.
Not before Roseanne, as in, like, in front of Roseanne. Like...
No, Roseanne's at his house. Is what I'm getting at. Fucking Dirty Dan.
Oh, God, how do we start? Okay, well, yeah, Dangerous Dan. He's not dead, thankfully, but he's got his shit slapped around. And the dynamic between him and Parrot is really interesting in this episode. So I hope they keep going with that.
Do you think they're going to continue trying to work together?
I see Parrot becoming, like, not like not like the replacement to Laser, but like a third party, someone with his own agenda.
Yeah, like a renegade.
I could see that, definitely. Hopefully he doesn't just become Alan.
Yeah, it's Parrot kind of strikes me, now that we're talking about it, he reminds me a little of Hart. You mentioned Hart earlier. All Hart wants us to see the Roid Mutants prosper. All Parrot wants us to see Bugsters not be murdered. It's a little...
that's like his secondary goal. His main goal is to just be like the fucking bomb at video games and play him a lot.
Yeah, I guess, and beat up Emu.
Yeah, he wants to beat him. But not just beat him, but beat him at his best. Make it a fair fight.
That's his thing.
Yeah, he's a gamer deep down inside. Because he's a fucking video game character.
I wonder what game he's from. What's his deal? What's his origin?
What does he actually look like, is my question.
Yeah. Maybe he's from, like his clothes are kind of crazy. Maybe he's from, like, Rocky Rodent.
What an esoteric-ass fucking reference.
Jesus.
Oh, God. That's what scares me about his character, though, is that, like, they're slowly hinting at, like, a heel turn. Or a heel face turn, I mean, but fucking, I don't want that at all.
No.
We don't need another hero rider.
No, I've seen some scans, and I'm not going to say anything about them, but they imply that he's going to keep being evil.
I hope that's true.
I hope that's true as well.
Here's another point that I wanted to bring up in the round table discussion.
Okay.
The triangle table discussion.
Okay.
Is, why the fuck do Snipe and Brave care so much about X-Aid?
I don't know.
I think
especially Snipe.
What they care
Snipe,
about...
Snipe doesn't have a reason to care about anything except himself, and he's made that point many times.
I think what they care about isn't Emu himself, but that he has, if he's stressed out, he'll make a huge bugster, and that's going to be trouble.
It seems like they fucking love him.
Well, I don't know about Snipe, but with Brave, he genuinely, at this point, cares about his condition. Like, when he was saying, you know, I do care about the patient, I care about the patient in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're bestest buddies forever now. I don't know when that happened, but it happened.
I don't know when or why or how it happened, but I guess now he doesn't hate the intern.
I guess maybe X-Aid gained his respect.
I could see that.
And I can understand
honestly
that.
don't even see that, because here he's trying to rip the Gashots away from him. Like, to protect him, yes, but before it was just like, I'm gonna kill you.
Well, he wasn't gonna kill him, he was gonna take his Gashats.
No, this was like 3 episodes ago.
Well, 3 episodes ago he was gonna beat him up and take his Gashats. That was his goal. That's why they lured him to the abandoned warehouse.
Yeah, I don't know if he's his best friends, but he's tough love, maybe is what I'd call it. I don't know.
Yes. But why Snipe? Like, I guess Snipe seems like he loves him more than fucking Brave does. Like, a lot more.
Snipe?
Like, there's even a line in this episode where he's like, do you think you can beat X-Aid? I was like, why do you respect him so much now?
Because he's the main
I feel like the writers are forgetting the characters they've written.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Snipe,
Maybe because there's a lack of character that's been developed. So
Snipe's been weird. He started off so cool as like this such a threatening guy, and now he's playing second fiddle to a girl who shops at Hot Topic, and they live together in his abandoned hospital, and he's cheering on the main character now, and I don't really feel like he's I feel like I missed where we came around to that. Like, he didn't have a climax as a bad guy or anything like that. He's just sort of like, he didn't have an arc as that villain that he was set up to be.
He just sort of became a hero because there were worse villains, which is never a real good way to be a hero. Like,
this guy is a piece of shit, but he's not as much of a piece of shit, so...
if you use, like, Dragon Ball Z as an example, none of the characters ever become heroes from being villains without there being some sort of reason, some sort of arc. Like, Krillin is like, he starts to respect Goku after a certain period of time. They train together and he learns to like him as time goes on. Like, same thing happens with Yamcha, where he gets his ass kicked and he learns to like Goku. Everybody. Fucking Piccolo has to team up with Goku because there's an evil alien or whatever, and then he takes care of Goku's son and becomes a hero. Vegeta really likes fucking Bulma, I guess. Whatever. They become heroes, sort of. Snipe just, I don't know. He wanted to save, like, Spencer's gifts.
For some reason.
I don't mind that he's not a hero. In fact, I prefer he not be a hero, but like
I don't want him to be a hero either.
Yeah, it's the Spencer's Gifts thing. It's this writer thing that's been going on from the dawn of time, where people just have weird living situations. Like this is early Heisei too. Like Ryuki and Knight just sleep in the same room above a cafe, even though I'm sure Shinji didn't have any weird living situation before. I assume he had an apartment, he had a full-time job, but he just lives in this cafe now. Or like Faiz, we're watching it right now. Faiz and Mari and Keitaro live together in a laundromat. Like everyone's got these weird living situations.
Yeah.
But with those shows, there's well, at least with Faiz, there's kind of a reason. But with this show, there's not really much of a reason. She's just like, I'm just gonna live here, and Snipe's like, can't you just visit? And he's
in Faiz, there isn't really a reason, because like you can assume they don't all live in Tokyo, but why the fuck did Takumi go with them?
Okay, I'm gonna answer that today.
Why do they care?
I'm gonna answer that today because it's made obvious this week in Faiz. I'll answer.
We'll get to it.
We'll debate.
I didn't think so, but whatever.
And I think Godai just sleeps in the park.
Yeah, that
Godai
was
lays
something
his
I was just
backpack.
thinking about. With like, think about where the fuck did Hongo Takeshi live? Did he just never sleep? He just rode his motorcycle around all day?
He would put his motorcycle on cruise control and just sleep on the highway.
Anyway,
I don't know.
This episode, I like this episode though because it seems like it's starting to get back on track. I was worried that it was just going to spiral out of control into the distance and never come back.
Yeah, that's how
but the plot
they
is
just had
moving
to fit the
forward.
burger commercial in there.
Yeah, I guess.
We're still feeling the aftershocks of the burger episode. The guy is still here.
Yeah, there's a fucking... At the beginning of this episode, there's a shot of Burger Boy, Sakuru, looking at a cheeseburger sadly. And it shows the McDonald's logo from the, like, visit our sponsors over top of it. I was like, are we supposed to be mourning the burger by going to our local McDonald's and buying dinner tonight?
Pay your respects, bring a candle to your local McDonald's.
You walk into McDonald's and you're like, hi, I'm here for the X8 Remembrance Dinner.
I'm here for the vigil.
The vigil.
Candlelight vigil for Bergman. I want someone to do that and videotape it and prove that you're all a bunch of dumbasses.
Yeah. You'll get nothing in return.
But do it. You'll be not even internet famous because we only have like 300 listeners.
Sick.
Sounds great.
So are we done talking about X8?
That is all for X8.
That's all for X8. Okay. Let's talk about some news.
Okay, get into it.
First of all, real quick, there's a new trailer for Superhero Wars. You can check that out down in the blog post. It doesn't really reveal anything new, but it's a little longer than before, and it has a lot of Deno, just like the last one. There's a lot of Deno. I don't think they got his face actor back, but here's Deno, everyone. But more importantly, there's one last news thing that I'm going to spend a long time on because it's the most interesting one by far. You've probably heard by now that a certain actor from Fourze named Fumika Shimizu has quit acting to join a controversial religious organization known as Happy Science.
She was Yuki.
In Fourze.
She was fucking... Maybe I'm not even saying her name right. I'll look it up while you're talking about
Okay,
this.
she was a girl in Fourze. If you hear the name Happy Science and you think, gee, that sounds like a weird cult, that's because you're right. I did a little bit of research about Happy Science. They were founded in the 80s by some weirdo. And it's this guy who comes out and he says, hey, everyone, I can channel the spirits of every previous Messiah, Jesus and Buddha and all them, and I can channel all of them and see all of their prophecies at once, and you should all follow me. And a lot of people went along with it. They're an officially recognized religion somehow. And I'm pretty sure
they're officially recognized?
They are officially recognized by the Japanese
also,
government.
her name in the show is Yuki. Yuki Jojima.
Yuki Jojima is... So, when you're watching Fourze, look at her. She's quit acting to join the Japanese equivalent of Scientology, I guess. It's some weird mojo. So I did a bit of research. There's some funny stuff there. There's some weird little stories. I recommend you look it up. But on their official website, right on the front page, is a book written by the founder, in which he claims to have had a spiritual interview with the ghost of George Washington. And that's what the book is.
What?
What?
The title of the book is Revealing Donald Trump's Hidden Identity, Spiritual Interview with George Washington.
What are they saying? What the fuck are they even saying?
He's saying he had an interview with George Washington's ghost.
But what does that have to do with Donald Trump?
Because they were both president?
There were a lot of other presidents too, Liam.
Here, wait.
Are they saying that Donald Trump is channeling the spirit of George Washington?
Wait, let me read about the blurb on the back of the book.
Go ahead.
What would George Washington say about today's America? Read this and find out. America's founding fathers' current thoughts on racial problems, America's foreign policies, the American and world economies, and his mission and the secret of his soul. Please remember the good old days and think about America's founding father. Please remember the good old days and think about America's founding father. They write it twice. That wasn't me. George Washington, now is the day to rebuild the United States. Think big and restart the movement toward greater America.
How much does this book cost and where can I buy it?
And why does the blurb sound like a John LaJoy song?
It does.
It's a mere $10 and you can buy it on the Happy Science website.
Dude, I can't fucking read Japanese.
It's in English. It's translated. No problems.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, make it your bedtime story to your kids.
Dude, I gotta join Happy Science.
So I guess this actress saw this and said, "Yeah, this seems legit. I'll throw my life away for this." And so she did.
Why is it called Happy Science?
It's the original name of the group was something like. Hang on, I've got it here. The original name of the group was the fucking Happiness Realization Party, and then became like the Institute for the Research of Human Happiness or something. Because of I don't know, they're trying to find some sort of scientific way to find the purity of your soul. They also all deny the Nanking Massacre ever happened during World War II. There's a fun thing.
What?
Yeah, they're war crime deniers. So they're a cool
Everybody
bunch.
loves a good war crime denier.
I imagine it's so weird. There is this like looked down upon subculture of World War II war crime denial in Japan. This weird underbelly.
I feel like it's the same. It's the same reason that there is so much of this like following in general of this trying to find a higher purpose. I feel like it comes from a place of not being able to deal with reality. Like, oh man, World War II stuff is a lot worse than I remember it. I can't deal with it.
Yep.
So how about those karate bug men?
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that?
Wait, I still got more to say. Institute for
Okay,
Research in
let's
Human Happiness was that what it was called.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why it's like happy science, right?
Okay.
Why is it called Scientology?
Because it's science.
Why are they Christian scientists?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
This is a bigger conversation than this podcast.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
They research the science of happiness. Kofuku no
I
Kaga.
guess. Do you have any more to talk about this shit?
Is this the religious science in quotation marks podcast episode?
This is the Happy Science episode of Rider Club Radio. Welcome. I'd like to share with you some literature while you're all here. I have a few pamphlets to hang out.
Well, I gotta go.
Wait! So that's all the news I have.
I can't... What a weird bit of news, though.
Yeah.
Like, she was on Forza and now she's in a cult.
They used to talk about, way back in the day, they used to talk about the curse of the Kamen Riders. And that was if you play a Kamen Rider, something bad is going to happen to you. But it seems like, from what I've seen since I started this podcast, it's more like if you act in Kamen Rider as any character, you're going to have a really weird fucking life after that, for better or for worse.
It's true.
I mean,
Yep.
not entire... Like, I'm failing on his name right now, but the guy that played Shotaro, like, he seems like a stand-up guy.
Ren Kiriyama.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I don't know, he seems like a pretty stand-up guy in general.
Just you wait on Ren Kiriyama. It's going to turn out he's a Fucking...
I mean, it did take like 12 years for the guy that played your boyfriend in Ryuki.
Oh,
yeah.
I will never remember that guy's name. The guy that played Kamen Rider Knight.
Yeah, the guy that played Knight. It took like 12 years for him to stop some guy that was like, was it peeping or...
He's peeping on his girlfriend's pantaloons.
Yeah.
Taking a gander up her frock.
I mean, it's weird, but it's not necessarily bad. It's just like that's interesting.
No, it was cool. How long did it take for people to realize Super One was scamming women out of all their money?
What?
We've talked about that story a billion times. Like, Super One was, like, courting these women and getting their, like, bank information and scamming all their fucking money from them and then leaving.
He was pulling a dirty rotten scoundrels on them.
Yeah, he's in prison now.
Well, shit. I like Super One, too. I just have never been able to watch Super One.
Well, Super One's a pretty good show. It's goofy as shit, but it's fun.
If you ever meet the actor, don't give him your social security number.
Yeah, probably not. Just have sex with him.
Just wait on Ren Kiriyama, though. In like 6 months, he's going to come out and it's going to turn out he's like a serial underwear thief or something.
It's going to come out and he's just a straight-up cannibal.
There's going to be a video of him eating Phillips Actor or something in his basement. Filmed on an old
So that's what happened.
I saw his actor on Yoshihiko recently.
Really?
Yeah, he
Ren
was...
Kiriyama?
No, the guy that played Philip.
Phillips.
Oh.
Yeah, he was a bandit character in one of the little like side bits in an episode of Hiro Yoshihiko season 3.
Yeah, he's got his head shaved now because he's sick of being called a girl.
Look,
I guess that's all for the news.
That's all for the news. Just one really good story.
What's next?
What are next? It's time for Moshi Moshi Fies.
Get out, Tomaz.
Okay, bye.
Get out while you still can.
Fuck out of here. So, real quick, Jeff, what did you think about the guitar arc? The guitark?
The guitark was probably the best part of the show so far.
Damn straight. I'm happy that you don't hate it like I thought you did.
No, I didn't hate it. I really, I liked that character. Now, not so much, since his little arc's over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was really great. He was a really great character during all the guitar stuff. I will say that I feel like that plot line was deflated really heavily by having it be like a twist that the teacher is the one who cut his bike brakes, and the teacher was also an orphanok.
That's early Heisei.
It was really like fucking... If the thing was his classmates were jealous and they cut his brakes and caused the accident, that's real human reason for this guy to hate humans and want to get revenge so badly. But he's still a good guy inside, so he's fighting against it. But as it turns out, it was just an orphanok.
Well, it was his... I don't think his teacher was an orphanok at the time when he did it.
You don't know that.
I'm pretty sure. And
You don't know that.
I don't know. His reason is dumb, though.
You're
I'll agree.
hoping.
What?
You're hoping,
I'm
anyway.
hoping. His reason is dumb, I'll agree. His classmates are all set up like that, and his teacher is like the nice guy, but just for the sake of having the turnaround, just for the sake of having this twist, they're like, oh, just kidding, it was the teacher, and his reason is this one line. Yeah, it's...
But I love the scene. It's like a beautiful scene, almost, when he's playing the guitar for the girl, whatever her name is. I don't know his name either.
Yeah.
I don't know his name either.
Snake Man.
But Snake Man is playing guitar for Bird Girl.
Okay.
And there's like a fight scene happening at the same time. Except when it the strings of the guitar are the steps. That was stupid.
that's such weird cinematography. I remember that shot.
Yeah. But otherwise it was like a really great scene. Especially when he stops because he can't play anymore.
Yeah.
I like the bit when he throws his guitar off the balcony.
Yeah, when he chucks his guitar off the balcony, that was a very good scene. It was very human.
So I really like that arc. I don't know how I feel about the current arc.
See, they're really teasing me. They're really putting me. They got my balls in a juice maker because I saw Kaiza, and I was like, yes.
You thought it was Kusaka.
Yeah, I thought it was Kusaka, but they're stretching it out a lot. Yeah. It's like, speaking of cults, Mari is in
a real cult, like a real true cult.
There's a bunch of adopted children, all adopted by this one rich guy, and now he's sending them.
Homeschooled them and sent them to school at like a brainwashing cram school camp.
And now he's sending them all belts after he's dead,
or maybe dead. We don't know.
Maybe dead, and it's weird because like so in this episode you see the Kaiser belt. But it just kills whoever uses it. They turn into dust, like they were an Orphanok, or they were killed by an Orphanok.
Yeah.
What I think is happening, I'm going to make a prediction here because they make it incredibly...
I know the spoilers of this show.
Okay,
so.
Don't tell me if I'm right or wrong, but they make it incredibly fucking obvious. All the people who were at the last class reunion, were turned into Orphanoks, and the Kaiser belt kills any Orphanoks that wear it. But Kusaka wasn't at the last reunion, so he's not an Orphanok, so he can wear the Kaiser belt. Again, don't tell me if I'm wrong.
I'm not going to tell you if you're wrong or right.
But I feel like that's it, because it seems... Because there's a guy driving a truck, and he's like, oh, fuck, I'm sorry, everyone, I got a secret to tell you. At the last reunion, you were all... And then when he's right about to say turned into Orphanoks, he dies. So I really think they were turned into Orphanoks. That's my theory.
We'll see.
We'll see. I know... Well, I shouldn't say anything else. I know some other spoilers and fies that hint towards this, but I don't want to say them.
Okay. Well, we're not going to spoil anything until it comes to it, in case some poor souls are watching this with us.
Some people are. I happen to have on good authority.
I'm liking this show more than I did the first time I watched it, because I watched it a really long time ago now.
And the scrubs are good. The scrubs are convenient to have.
There's just some like Japanesiness to the dialogue. Like when they say, "Is it all right to leave it like this?"
Yeah.
Or is it all right that it's like this? I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean?
It's little like fan translation isms from the early 2000s.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just a direct translation.
It's a scrub, mind you. They're just taking TV Nihon subs and
yeah. So maybe they missed some.
Yeah, it's not going to be like a perfect retranslation, but they're good for what they are. I like them.
I do too. I'm about to run out of them.
Yeah, it's that, and then there's like 3 episodes that aren't scrubbed, and then there's a bunch more. I don't know what the exact thing is, but we'll find them.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
but I like the Lucky Clover.
Dude, I love
Orphanoks.
that gang.
Hojo is back.
Yeah, Toru Hojo. Yeah, what a crazy thing.
Our friend Max pointed out that he looks like Michael Bolton from Office Space, and I can't unsee that, no matter how hard I try.
I remember seeing him sitting there, and I was like, wait, is that the guy from that show that I just finished watching?
He's your favorite man.
He's back.
Hojo.
I did love him in Agito, so
I hated his guts.
I mean, I love to hate him. He's that kind of character.
I didn't even love to hate him. I hated to hate him.
Wow, what a hateful man.
I am full of hatred.
I'm hoping I'm glad he's back. I have no idea what kind of character he's going to be yet, but I love Mr. J and his little dog Chaco. I love that about the show, that they humanize every Orphanok just a little. Just a little.
Like, Mr. J is this, like, big imposing black man. I'm sure that's why he was hired.
Yep.
Because the Japanese are like, oh my god, big imposing black man, so scary.
Yep.
And, but he's got a little dog.
He's got a little dog.
He loves to pet his little dog. He's also like a tooth monster, but he loves his little doggy. He doesn't.
It's not a dog that he crushes or abuses or any Mal doesn't feed him. He just fucking has a dog that he likes, and he ties him up outside of the fight when he goes to fight. Yeah. It
was sad for a second. I knew that Mr. J comes back. But it was like the dog looked all sad and was like trying to find him. And I was like, ah. And then they were reunited. The big scaly lizard foot, the dog rubbed up against it.
Because Mr. J has 3 lives?
Yeah.
Somehow? For some
Maybe
reason?
that's his special Orphanok power. You don't know.
Must be it. He's also incredibly strong, so...
He's also incredibly strong, but I mean, the president of Smart Brain has the power to badly CGI float and make spirit bombs. That's what I was trying to think of. He can make spirit bombs.
I completely forgot about that scene until you reminded me of it just now.
There's a little bit of that in Blade too, and it's never not terrible looking. You just have a regular guy flying around.
Yeah, it's because you're so used to seeing people in suits, and then just this dude in a suit.
Yeah.
So this dude in an actual suit, a business suit, is just flying around.
It's not even that, like, they lift him with, like, wires or whatever. He's obviously standing on the ground in a green screen room, and they just move him up and over.
Yeah, fuck you.
It looks so bad.
My favorite scene is when the first Kaiza user kills Mr. J, kills in quotation marks, and he's dying from the Kaiza belt, and they're like, dude, are you okay? And he's like, maybe I'm dying, but I fucking did it. I killed Mr. J, and that's all worth it. That's all it was worth dying for. And then he fades away. And then Mr. J just comes back, and he's like, well, that was mildly annoying. Time to go back to the bar.
It's cool to see this group of people, like, struggling with the Kaiza belt.
Yeah.
And, like, giving up their life. It doesn't make all that much sense that they realize that it kills people, and yet they keep using it. You think they'd be like, let's figure out a way to use it without it killing us. But then they're like, maybe if we just all take turns putting it on and dying, one of us will survive.
Maybe they're trying to do a thing like maybe it'll work on one of us.
Yeah, that's a very bad plan.
Yeah, let's just play Russian roulette with this Kaiser belt. I like the scene when they're being attacked in the van, and one guy takes the belt, and they're like, don't do it, it'll kill you. And he's like, I gotta do it. I feel like they could have turned that into something a little more emotional, maybe if they'd set that guy up.
But no, he puts it on and gets his ass beat immediately.
And then dies. He's turned into dust. Turned into Kaiser dust.
Immediately. He gets hit like 3 times, and then his belt gets knocked off and he dies.
He was really nice. That guy's super an Orphanoch. He's 3 Orphanochs.
I can't tell you whether that's true or not. But,
I'm really...
There's a level of melodrama, and it's like J-drama style stuff, like, get out of here, I hate you, don't do things that you're not asked to do. I'm sorry, I'll leave so that maybe you'll heal faster.
Oh yeah,
I care about you, so I'll leave for you. And I'm like, what is this?
I thought you were talking about... Okay, wait. Speaking of which, I thought you were talking about the thing where Fies, where he's like, fuck off about your dreams and fuck off with your dinner and stop making me such hot food, even though he doesn't work or do anything to help.
No.
I think
that's funny.
Yeah, it is hilarious. I think I know why Takumi took the belt and why he's upset when he loses it.
Okay, so why does he take the belt?
I think, because in the beginning of the show, he says, I'm driving a motorcycle all around Japan, I'm just wandering because I have no dreams and I have no purpose. So I think when he found the Fies belt and he fought with it a couple times, that became his purpose. He feels like he's doing good. So when he loses it, at first he's like, well, I hated that belt anyway. But after a day, he's like, wait, I have no purpose anymore. And he starts to get depressed. The show could have made that clearer, for sure.
True.
But I think...
I agree with that. That's his motivation now is it's always sort of been to find his purpose. And now that he has one, it's not a dream per se, but he says straight up, like, I don't have a dream, but I can protect people's dreams. He's found a purpose. It could have been more clear. That's my only problem with it.
Yeah.
It's sort of a J-drama staple from what I'm to understand, that nothing is ever really said outright, ever. The characters don't say anything outright, the show doesn't tell you anything outright. It's all a bunch of inference.
I feel like they could have implied it stronger back then. Like, the fact that I'm just figuring this out now, I'd say is a point against the show. But I'm glad I figured it out ever. Before I was just like, why the fuck did he... it's better late than never, I suppose. But yeah, it's a fine reason. It's a fine reason.
The more I watch this show, the more I understand why people say that Kiba is the best character in it and is one of the only saving graces of it throughout. Because I really like his character, especially now that he's just been like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to do what I want, and if you step in my way, I'm going to obliterate you. I'm going to beat you up.
Yeah, I love... Kiba is the horse Orphanoch, right?
Yes.
Yes, I love that guy, and he's, from the start of the show, he's been one of my favorite characters. I love his backstory, I love his struggles.
His story was my favorite part, even when I was struggling through the first few episodes.
Yeah, I like stories where the main character is put through awful trials and has bad things happen to them, and you see how they deal with it.
You're an awful person.
Yeah, Yuji Kiba is really interesting because since he's not the main character, you don't know if he's actually going to come through it or not. You don't know. There's a real uncertainty of how he's going to deal with all this trauma. So I think that's really interesting. I like that a lot.
On the other end of things, I was starting to warm up to Bird Girl until she started doing this, like, I'm sorry that you hate me. I'm sorry that I do things that make you hate me.
I love the subplot with her and Keitaro, where Keitaro falls in love with her and doesn't know that she's his long-distance girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he's like, I gotta tell her that I'm in love with someone else, and they're talking about it.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's
Takumi...
funny. It's not funny, haha, but it's funny in a, like, oh, that's clever kind of way or whatever.
Yeah. Takumi's like, you're a scumbag, Keitaro. And they're both like, what do you think, Mari? And Mari is, like, fuming on the other side of the room.
Disgusting.
I like that scene.
That's a really funny scene.
I miss little things like that from Kamen Rider. You don't really get them anymore.
On the flip side of my praising of Kiba, is Snake Man, once he threw his guitar out the window, right, becomes such a shit character that has none of his previous personality. Like, he's not goofy or charming or over the top at all. He's just a genuine dickhead.
Here's a fun fact that not many people know about Faiz. When Snake Man throws his guitar out the window, his character is actually in it. Stuffed into the acoustics.
Oh, Liam, you're so clever.
But thank you. I'll be here all week.
And he's just, and like for 2 episodes, he just lays in a bed yelling at that girl. Is it necessary?
He's gonna die first of those 3, for fucking
Probably
sure.
So.
And
Probably so.
When he does, I'll be okay with it.
I like that he got his shit wrecked. I mean, it makes sense that, like, it was cool that, like, he got to be Faiz for a little bit.
Yeah, everyone gets to be Faiz in the show, don't they?
That's true, but it's cool to see that look on Takumi's face when somebody else shows up as Faiz.
Yeah.
It's like, what? That's me. What's happening?
It's like walking in on someone fucking your girlfriend or something.
That is the big joke. The Faiz belt is a horrible slut, and Takumi tries to get an ongoing relationship with it. Just keeps cheating on him over and over and over again.
So, in retrospect, or in summation, Kamen Rider Faiz is the best Kamen Rider show.
You're bullshitting me.
No, I'm not. I'm fucking bullshitting you, but I do like it.
I'm starting to like it as well. Like I said, it was getting better.
Come to the dark side.
Oh, no. I know it gets worse, though. I know in the 20s it drops off like a motherfucker, because I don't even know if I made it to 30. I think I maybe made it past 30.
We'll see. That's what people tell me.
The last time, but it was so long ago, so I don't know.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
Oh, God. Your boy's in the next episode.
Yes. I saw that preview, and they're like, maybe we should just hand this Kaiser belt over to the Orphanox or something. It's better than giving it to this Kusaka guy.
He looks like a street tough.
I can't wait.
A hoodlum.
He looks like a Birdman.
A Bergman?
Oh, fuck off. Let's get Tomaz back.
I thought that's what you were getting at.
No, Birdman.
Birdman. Okay, I understand.
Juman.
I get it.
Let's talk about...
Tomaz, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, welcome back, Tomaz, to the podcast.
Okay.
He's so happy to be back.
He loves it. He definitely doesn't ask to be on it all the fucking time or anything.
Do you guys want to talk about Kyuranger?
Yes.
Sure.
This week, the very first episode of Uchu Sentai Kyuranger aired. And boy, were we lucky that we got to watch it. Did you guys feel lucky? On a scale of lucky to unlucky, how lucky were you?
I'm gonna shoot you in the face.
That would be a test of my luck.
If Lucky ever gets shot in his face, it's gonna travel like through his nose and out his ear or something. It'll be like, Yosharaki. I want to like this show so bad.
Yeah,
I want to,
too.
but I hate Lucky. I can't sugarcoat it. I hate that guy.
I hated him until he said, he like transforms and he yells, "I'm going to be the one to save the universe." And for some reason, I don't know why, something in my brain was like, alright, I'll give him a chance. When he said that, I don't know why. He says lucky far less after that. He says it a ton before that, but he only says it like twice after that.
overall, this first episode makes me feel like... I mean, I didn't really know what to think at first, because there was so much sensory overload. I had no idea what the fuck was going on for the first 15 minutes. I didn't have a fucking clue. They were cramming so much information in that first 15 minutes.
Yeah, whiplash.
Yeah,
it's like you're
what
going
the
from
hell
one
is even
scene
going
to
on?
another. Oh my god, it's so bad.
It was the first 15 minutes of this episode were god awful. I couldn't take it. It was bad.
It's first episode syndrome. Even Kamen Rider has it, where it's just they front load it with plot dump info.
No, this is worse. This is like...
I'd say this is a pretty egregious example.
This could have been 5 episodes, but they moved it... like, they moved everything so quickly, it felt like the writers were like, okay, no, we have to fit all of this stuff in here in the first 15 minutes, or else otherwise, like, the rest of the show will be too bloated, so we just need to cram it in there, and even if it sucks, then at least they'll be able to figure it out from that point on. And I'm like... I don't want to.
That's not good storytelling. Stop that.
Yeah, Super Sentai always has so much plot. They got to cram it into just a couple episodes.
That's true. It's so plot heavy. I like the funny part about this episode is I like the 3 Rangers that land on the planet, and like no one else.
I don't even really like them. I really just like Taurus so far. The other 2, like. There's not enough character for me to really know anything about the green one, and our friend Max said I would like the yellow ranger because he's a chef, and I really don't, because he just makes really like corny puns that don't make any sense. Like, just that's his entire character so far.
They're not even puns. He's just like saying kitchen
metaphors.
Things.
It's just metaphors.
Yeah, that's how you cook a burger.
I'm okay with that so far. If he stays that'll be a problem. But in the first episode, I'm okay with it. I get a kick out of the fact that the green girl's entire personality seems to be that she's just kind of a bitch. She laughs at everybody who's different than her.
Her personality is unconvincing laugh.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's an unconvincing laugh. That's where it begins and ends.
Taurus is the best character so far.
Taurus is like the actual dude that like wants to be here and be doing this thing, and cares about their mission and is interested in the other characters that he meets, and he's standing there fighting everyone by himself, and he's like, oh, I hope I can do this.
I liked the wolf. Garu was
shocking.
I liked the wolf. What's so shocking about that? Because he has an edgy backstory?
Because he's an emo character with a fringe.
Yeah.
I think he could have... His story was more compelling than Lucky's, that's for fucking sure.
Well, Lucky doesn't have a story.
Yeah, Lucky doesn't have a story. Any story is more compelling, and I didn't really like his story either, because his whole story is like, oh yeah, all my people died because I was too much of a bitch to join them in the fight. And so the only reason I survived is because I ran away.
Yeah, he regrets it.
There's a compelling part of that. Like, that's always an interesting character to have a story based around.
Someone who's made a mistake.
The guy who was too much of a coward to fight once and has to fight again.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of pathos behind that, but that's completely overshadowed by some idiot screaming the word lucky over and over and over again.
And I don't really think it was handled in like an intelligent way, because they immediately show him, the situation where he has to fight again, and then he just takes it. Like, there's no development there. There's just like, I made this choice once. Alright, I have to make the choice again. Alright, I'll fight.
It's beginning, middle, and end in one episode of that arc.
That's the problem.
That is thrown in with 4 other characters and establishing information.
Yeah,
like, it's just it's completely overshadowed.
There has to... It's not even that there has to be 5 Rangers, because the pink one doesn't train... Well, I guess there are 5. That's the thing. There are 5 Rangers. There have to be 5 at the beginning. So they forced Garu's story in when it should have had its own episode.
Yeah.
And if it had its own episode, I feel like it would have been great.
Marginally interesting?
But
I don't know.
I feel like it would have been good. But hopefully they'll do better next episode with gold and silver.
Fingers crossed.
I'm really interested in them. I have been since before the show started. I'm interested in seeing what, like, 2 Robin Hood-style thieves are going to be like in this setting.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I still was trying to struggle to understand the setting.
Even if shit was great, even if everything else was great, I probably wouldn't like it just because of Lucky. Lucky is like a... It's like a... He's a fucking cockroach in your soup. It's like...
Oh, God.
He appears, right, and he's like... He's just like a guy drifting around in space. That's fine. He crash lands on a planet and survives because he's lucky. I was okay with that. He sees the Kyurangers fighting, and his whole motivation was, those guys are cool. I'm gonna join them. And I was like, okay, I hate this guy. I hate him.
Yeah.
That's his whole reason for joining.
Yeah.
I don't like him one bit. And he keeps saying that fucking line that he's, oh, how lucky. I'm so lucky. And there was one bit, it ruins one scene, where there's a big fight. There's a big mook fight. Fighting all these mooks. And a wave happens to come and pull away these 2 guys. And if he had just like looked at the wave and been like, huh, and kept fighting, I would have thought, okay, that's kind of clever. A little like visual, oh, he's lucky, remember? But instead he turns straight to the camera and he screams, yo, Sharaki! And it's like, shut the fuck, shut your ass.
This is our protagonist, ladies and gentlemen.
Fuck off.
This is the guy drifting through space with no purpose whatsoever that sees something and then in 5 minutes makes the decision to change the rest of his life forever. Alright.
Okay.
That's believable, I guess.
The rest of the show, like, it has neat special effects, I guess. It has
potential.
Like, the setting is explained
is really cool.
in excruciating detail, Tomaz. I'm not sure how you missed it. It's like the first year of the show is explaining the setting.
It's the future.
It's interesting. The setting is interesting. The one thing that I could walk away from this episode saying that I absolutely loved is that the villain's name is like Dawn Armitage or something, like Dawn Horror.
Which, yeah, I was just gonna say, sounds like Dawn Horror.
For fucking Space Sheriff Gavon. I love that. Like, I got really excited, and then he just disappears immediately, and I was like, oh.
Well, he's not gonna show up and do shit till later.
This whole episode has sort of, like, especially after watching Zyuohger, this is not a good way to follow up Zyuohger.
Man, I miss Yamato.
No.
This episode should have tried a little harder to be like a coherent beginning, middle, end story and not just a bunch, like a dump of info and characters. Zyuohger, the first episode of Zyuohger is a beginning, middle, and end. It's fast as hell, but you still have one story happen.
It's paced properly with the right amount of information.
Yeah, you're not overloaded. They parse the information out too. It's not just like a big monologue at the beginning. It's like, here's this character, you're introduced to Yamato, and then he trips and falls into the cube, and then you're introduced to the world, and through his eyes, and it works.
Yeah, and this doesn't... Like, we don't have... I think the biggest problem for this episode is that we do not have a point-of-view character.
Yeah.
At all. Like, the story semi-follows Lucky, but it doesn't start out with Lucky. It starts out with the Rangers. Are they the characters we're supposed to be following?
There really isn't a point of view character, and I don't really think there needs to be. But the way this show started, like, in medias res, is just so poor. Like,
I think there needs to be, and something this heavily, like, it's supposed to be giving you all this new information that's completely unheard of. You need to have some sort of character to see the world through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine if Star Wars, with all, like, that info that no one had ever fucking known before or whatever, just starts, like, at, like, the Rebel base with all the guys in the orange jumpsuits and shit. Mm-hmm. How confused would you be?
I'd feel like I was watching Kyuranger.
Oh, I think we have a new reference, folks.
Ayo.
New point of view character, Liam.
Ayo.
I think there needs to be in something like this. There doesn't need to be in everything.
If you're starting from zero and it's just like everything that's established is completely obvious to, random passerby, that's fine. But if you're starting with something like this and you're starting in the middle of, like, okay, it's the future and there's this, and you don't allow enough time for your audience to understand what's going on before you start throwing even more stuff at them, they're just going to grow disinterested because they don't know what the hell's going on.
You know what's funny? I agree with that, but you know what's funny? The very first thing in this episode is, it's the future, and Earth is under attack by aliens. Anyway, fuck that. Here's what's happening out in space.
Yeah, Q never going to Earth. Fuck that.
Like, why was that necessary?
I don't know. I wonder if they're ever going to go to Earth, or they're just going to, like, go to the desert and be like, well, here we are on the desert planet.
You mean Tatooine?
Shut up. I mean Jakku.
Completely different planet.
Totally different planet. Desert planet.
Yeah, I don't know. They have to at some point. Here's a fear.
Okay.
That I'll share with you fine fellows.
Lucky's not going to die?
Let's not scare each other. That after a few episodes of space shit, they just go to Earth and the rest of the show's on Earth.
I could see that. I could totally see that. They're like, woo!
Hey, yeah, we branch out, we get everyone, and then we go back to Earth and we save it and we stay here.
I don't want that. I want to see cool space stuff.
Might happen.
Although we haven't really seen much already, considering it was like they were on a beach.
Yeah, they were.
And then before that, like after that, they're like the thieves, gold and silver, are just hanging out in the 1950s diner with blue people in it.
They're in the 1950s planet.
They're in the They're in the 1950s diner from the prequels.
Oh, don't talk about Star Wars again.
No, they're at the restaurant at the end of the universe.
Yeah, maybe they are, actually. They're on Planet Jug Jug. No, wait, Garu was on Planet Jug Jug.
Planet Bird.
Planet
Can they go to the planet where mattresses are sentient?
That's a reference.
Yes.
I get it.
I didn't get that reference.
It's a reference to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I've only read the first two of those.
I think it's the fourth. It's the third of the fourth one.
I didn't get that far.
I think this show opens itself to reference to Star Wars.
Yeah, I guess.
Considering that the main characters are called the Rebellion.
That's a little unfair, though.
No, it's very unfair.
You invite whenever you deal with like space things and space adventure, you invite Star Wars.
Yeah, space operas, yeah.
I also compared it to the prequels, which I feel is much more fair.
That's more fair. That's closer. There's the same amount of likable, fucking relatable characters in both works.
I will say that there was no one in the prequels that I hated as much as Lucky at the beginning of this episode.
That's true. I'll take Jar Jar over Lucky.
Actually,
no, I'd take Lucky.
I'd take Lucky.
No, I mean, if Jar Jar doesn't
shoving
have a
your face into an electrical array and then
if Lucky did that, that would be a step up.
Oh,
I'm gonna come right out and say it.
I'm trying to give him a chance because I catch so much shit. Like, Liam, you don't go to the Discord and you don't read the emails.
I did go to the Discord this week once.
Okay, how long were you in there?
About 10 minutes.
There you go. So you don't get it, but literally every time I step foot into the Discord or check an email, there's someone just like projectile diarrheaing out of their ass on me about how I don't like Poppy Peepa Popo. And I'm sure I'm gonna get the same thing for Lucky. So I'm trying to give him a chance. Poppy can eat my fucking ass whole, okay?
Okay.
But Lucky, I'll try and give a chance.
I'm not giving Lucky any chances. I hate him.
I gave Poppy a chance, too, and we saw how that went.
Yeah.
Also, she was in this episode of X8, and I didn't like it. I'll say that.
I don't even remember what she did this week.
She said, she probably said, like, we're in a Poppy Peepo pickle or something.
Oh, yeah. I think that's what she said.
I'm having a peepo panic in my peepo puss.
If one thing I can say
peepo
is
popped
if
my brain out of my skull.
I'm gonna peepo commit suicide.
One thing we can say is at least if Kyuranger sucks, we can just stop watching it.
That's true. I feel really great about that, actually. That I have that choice.
We didn't have that choice with Ghost, but this is such a load off my mind that if I'm really not liking Kyuranger, I can just be like, I don't want to watch it this week. And then Jeff will probably make the same decision eventually, and we'll just We'll just stop doing it. Fuck the Super
No,
Sentai
Jeff will make
second.
the decision 3 shows before you, and then say, I haven't even watched the last 3.
I still can't believe you would do that to Fies.
Yeah, okay.
I can.
Show.
Cool. Like, the best thing is every message and, like, Discord conversation I had about it was people being like, yeah, I don't blame you.
What the fuck?
Every single one.
I'm alone in this world.
Yeah,
there
you
were
are.
a few people who were like, I can't believe you did that to Liam. That was so mean.
You know what? It's lonely at the top, they say, and they're right. It's lonely at the top. It's lonely having the best opinions.
Bottom of the barrel, right?
No, you know what?
That's a reference to Fies.
What do you mean?
That's what the president of the company says.
Oh, yeah.
I made a reference to the show you fucking beat off to every day.
You know what? Sometimes works of art aren't appreciated until their creator is dead. So after Toshiki Inoue is dead, we'll take a look back at Fies.
Alright, well, whenever you make something, I'll make sure to kill you before I appreciate it.
Okay, can you kill me now and appreciate Rider Club Radio?
No.
No.
I gotta write a song, hang on.
I bet if you sat down right now with no experience whatsoever and went to write a song, you would write a better song than the Kyuranger ending theme.
Oh, fuck that ending theme. Oh, fuck that
You don't
whole...
like the fist bumping and then crotch thrusting?
Yeah. How weirdly sexual is that dance? And it has 2 moves.
Zyuohger was... it was very, very child. It was very kiddie, you know? It was very kiddie, but it was a catchy tune. I could get it caught in my head sometimes. It was a nice little song, and there was a cool dance.
Yeah, it was fun to see, like, the floppy-headed animals dance in the background.
Zyuohger...
I always turned it off at the credits.
Zyuohger is like...
See next time on Zyuohger?
No, I don't even like seeing the next times because I don't like to get spoiled on what's going to happen.
Oh.
Next time, the death of Barai.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Frieza defeated.
Next time. Oh, look, there's Frieza. Oh.
Kyuranger's fucking outro is like they just stand on some tables and have some bad lens effects, and they do a bunch of fucking pelvic thrusts for 2 minutes while you
It looks
watching
like
horror.
the video for... This is another reference nobody's going to get. It looks like the video for D-Light's Groove is in the Heart.
Okay,
Nope.
so the
From the
2 people out there
1990s.
who saw that, who got that, message
It
us.
just looks like that. Yeah. If anyone who's old and weird knows that.
It does look like an old, like, 90s pop music video with the like, wide-angle lens, the
You can see
fisheye effects.
NSYNC doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like the worst Beastie Boys video that ever existed. I don't like it.
Every time I see
Beastie
it,
I'm not a
Boys
fan of
standards, don't you mean
Kyuranger.
the best Beastie Boys music
Fuck
video?
off. Beastie Boys are the shit, and I hate you.
I mean, their music is fine. I'm just talking shit about music videos in the 90s.
What about the video for Intergalactic when they come to Earth on a giant robot and Rampage?
I don't have a good memory of that.
That's a great video. What about the video where they dress up as Star Trek people and run around in the streets fighting each other?
I don't remember that one either.
I love it.
Here's
Anyway.
the sad thing is I got my hands on the Zyuohger soundtrack this week.
Oh, did you?
And oh my god, that soundtrack is buttery. It's orgasmic. It's so good. And Kyuranger's
I don't
soundtrack...
like-
What?
I don't like the way you describe it. I don't like that at all.
I think you made him uncomfortable.
It's like
Yeah.
ripping a load of Purple Goblin in your ears. But
What?
Kyuranger's soundtrack is like... It's nothing in comparison. I don't even remember a single song. They're all so forgettable, generic Sentai music. I don't even remember
I'm
the
okay
theme
with
song.
the opening theme. I'm okay with the opening theme song. I think it's alright.
Eh.
The incidental music throughout it, I didn't even notice, and the ending theme is ear rape.
Yeah, it's oof. Ugh.
It's like dinosaur dick in ear hole.
It's like the Metroid 2 soundtrack, Return of Samus. It's a big mess of notes.
Let's not go crazy.
It's not terrible. I mean, I didn't want to stab my eardrums.
I guess that's true. I just don't like it. And overall, I would give Kyuranger like a D- maybe.
First episode, yeah, I didn't really care for it.
And
I mean,
don't write in and say, it's just the first episode. You guys can't have an opinion yet. What are you listening to this for, then?
I don't really have...
This is an opinion podcast.
I don't really have an opinion of the show at this point because there isn't enough information, but on a standalone episode standard, I'd honestly fail that episode for how poorly it presented the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We are giving this an episode-by-episode rating. It's the same way we do every tokusatsu thing we ever talk about. And even episode by episode.
Even if the rest of the show is a masterpiece, the first episode we know for sure fucking sucks.
It was Garbo.
If they put Kyuranger on Netflix all at once, all 50 episodes, I would gather that most watchers that would be like, oh, what the hell is this, would watch the first episode and then either turn it off in the middle or not continue to the second episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
The first episode of a show is probably the most important episode.
Yeah, you have 20 minutes to get everyone's attention.
It's like, I'm going to talk about Star Trek, everyone.
Okay, I'm going to fall asleep. Just wake me up.
Okay. The first episode of Star Trek The Next Generation happens... The first couple seasons of The Next Generation aren't very good. Everybody can sort of agree on that.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the first episode of Encounter at Farpoint is the name of it, of Star Trek The Next Generation, is really fucking good. And it has to be, because then you have to go through 2 seasons of almost complete shit with a few good episodes before it gets really good. And even in a show where they didn't know what the fuck they were doing for 2 seasons, they still got the first episode right. And Super Sentai creators have been doing, like, seasons for, like, since the dawn of time. You think they'd know that by now.
Well, it's different
they
writers
don't need,
and producers.
They don't need to keep people interested. They're going to keep making it regardless of viewership because people are going to watch it anyway. It's for kids.
Yeah, it's the namesake.
I guess.
That's always feel weird. It's us a bunch of, like, all the 7-year-olds in Japan are like, yeah, Kyuranger, and here we are, a bunch of 20-somethings. This show doesn't pace itself properly, and you all have shit taste for all your little children.
There's that video, the like school play.
The children's theater critic. Yeah,
that's us. We're the children's theater critics.
I always get that image in my head whenever we talk about Sentai. Whenever we criticize Sentai, I always feel like a fucking idiot. But it's a bad show, Kyuranger.
There might be a point when we just drop it because it's bad, and then because it's not because like we're tired of ripping on it or whatever. It's because we're just ashamed of ourselves.
I love complaining about things. I just don't want to watch a bad show to have to do it.
That's true.
So why did you watch Ghost? Why did you watch Ghost?
Yeah,
why didn't you just like, all right, we're going to watch something else for a while. Please come back next week for episode 36 of...
Jan Person.
We thought about that. We thought about just picking up a different show and going with it. But by that time, once we'd really gotten into Ghost, we were like a quarter of the way through it before we finally just decided, all right, this show is terrible. We're done giving it second and third chances.
Should have just become a Good Eats podcast.
Yeah. Just watch an episode of Good Eats and critique it. I don't think Alton Brown landed that joke.
I really... Just for all the people out there keeping track on their notepads of like what everyone likes and dislikes, I love Good Eats.
I love Good Eats as well. It's a great show.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you're missing out, buddy.
Okay.
It's like Bill Nye the Science Guy, but for food.
Oh, that sounds cool.
It is really cool. He does a lot of like big, ridiculous foam explanations of the chemical makeup of food when you're cooking it and stuff.
That's pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah, it's a great show.
He does lots of skits in like a basement or like, oh, we're in France. We're on a plane. You know, those sorts of things.
Except it's like they make it painfully obvious that it's like terrible and fake.
Yeah.
For comedic effect. It's a show for adults as well, so it has an adult level of humor.
Okay, sounds pretty cool.
Anyway, this is not what this podcast is about.
But it could be.
Kyuranger was not a good episode. Poo-poo on it. Why don't we read some emails, folks?
Yeah, let's do mail.
You male people weren't ready to have Tomaz answering your mail.
Male and female male people. Come on.
Oh.
Our first email doesn't even have a question in it. We only have 3 emails, so I'm going to read it.
Okay.
It says, it's from James, and he says, "Hey guys, podcast is awesome as always. Thank you for your lies."
I like a lot of people do that. They're like, "Hey guys, the podcast is still good." Like they got to keep reminding us. Like,
well, they do.
That's true. Yeah,
I need any bit of like reassurance that this isn't terrible that I can get. Because from my point of view, this is terrible.
I mean, I don't listen.
Yeah, Tomaz doesn't even.
I don't listen either. Actually, if I don't edit, I don't listen.
Wow, I think I might be our sole viewer.
The reason why Dan took Juju Burger was because he didn't make it, but he did commission the game, so he thought he took back his property. Also, fun fact, if you plug in any Gashat in the Buggle driver, including Dangerous Zombie, it plays the level 3 jingle with the driver saying Genocide and zombie roars.
That's fucking
It still
hilarious.
brings a smile to my face every time it screams at me about Burger Genocide.
That was something Max shared that with me. He posted a time code of a video not long after we watched that episode and shared it with me. And I went, Burger Genocide! And I just lost it.
Oh, this actually has questions.
I think I have a title for this week's episode now.
Burger Genocide.
Burger Genocide.
I thought the title of this episode was going to be Jeff Actually Watches Fies.
We'll see. It's a toss-up. I'll flip a
I'd
coin
say
tomorrow.
Burger Genocide wins it.
Let's see.
Now for questions. 1, if you guys could redesign any suit, what would it be?
I would redesign Type Technic to not be the worst
damn
thing
it.
ever.
I
Yep,
was going to say Technic.
Sniped it.
I would redesign, I don't know. The fact that Forze looks terrible is part of the charm.
See, the thing
Because
is,
he's goofy and he transforms into a goofy-ass suit.
it's tough to make a rocket motif without looking dumb, and I really do like that it's a rocket motif. It just looks dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I mean, it looks like a space suit as designed by a kindergartner, so...
Yeah, oh my god. I never even thought about that. I could totally see that.
I would redesign Ryuki Survive so that it doesn't look stupid as fuck.
It doesn't look like the front of a car.
Like,
I would
Night
redesign...
Survive looks okay.
It looks alright.
Yeah. I think it looks pretty good, actually, Night Survive.
I'm not a fan of Night Survive. I like regular
when it has
more.
the cape.
Yeah, the cape helps.
Yeah.
The cape helps, but with Ryuki Survive, it's just like, who the fuck drew this?
Why does he look like he has a truck motif?
Because he's got vents on the front of him. Isn't that deep?
Yeah,
Vents.
his final vents.
It's his final vents.
Oh.
Do you get it?
I'd either redesign that, or I wouldn't even need to redesign it. I would swap, what is it, Kiwami and
With
Kachidoki, because Kachidoki is way better.
Kiwami sucks.
I would redesign Kamen Rider Double Extreme.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would make it not look terrible.
This is just us listing off suits we don't like.
Double Extreme is not the most egregious final design in the world, but the rest of Double's looks are also good.
Yeah.
That it's just sad that the final form is like crappy looking.
Yeah.
I really hate the way Beast's final form looks in Wizard. And I feel like I had someone tell me before, it's like, no, it's supposed to be like a Western thing. It's like, yeah, I can see that, but it still looks like shit.
He just looks like Meteor Storm, but worse.
Yeah.
Meteor Storm already looks bad enough.
He doesn't even have a Beyblade. He doesn't even have the saving grace. Alright, to lengthen my question just a little bit, my answer rather, I would take the stupid grabby arms off of Type Technic's helmet and maybe make the shade of green like a darker, like an olive green, maybe? Not like a neon highlighter puke green. Maybe save it a little.
I agree with that.
Maybe like a Jeep.
Or maybe you could just delete Type Technic because he used it twice.
No! I gotta redesign it. Maybe I could redesign it to be a Master of Invisibility suit.
Maybe you could redesign it to just be Type Speed.
Maybe I can redesign you to not be an asshole.
No, you can't.
I second that motion.
You can't. I tried.
Okay. That was your college years.
Second question. Out of these four, which two are the better final boss? Amadam from the last two Wizard episodes, Jam from Gaim, Sigma from Drive, or Gold Extremer from Ghost?
Oh.
None of them?
Sigma?
Sigma was the robot in Drive.
Oh, yeah, the bomb.
Yeah,
Or
the
whatever.
bomb robot.
I totally
it was-
forgot about that.
Yeah, it's the real final boss.
And we have to
After-
pick two?
Yeah, pick two. I didn't watch Wizards, so I guess I can't choose that one.
Amadam? I only remember, like, the mage dude.
I didn't
I
see
can't even
Wizard
remember his
either.
name anymore because...
I say we all move on and pretend like this question didn't happen.
I'd say they all suck and they were all bad decisions.
Liam, don't forget to edit all this out so we don't look like a bunch of huge idiots.
That's true, don't worry.
To end this letter off, here's a little something about the Gamer Driver's origin. The Gamer Driver's creator in real life, Kazuo Funaki, designed it the way it looks because he wanted to, in his own words, evoke a sense of nostalgia for older gamers and fans of Rider by modeling it after the consoles of the 8-bit and 16-bit era of gaming. He wanted to remind us of the fun we had as kids, since modern toys and games somehow lost their sense of fun, moving to cater to a more mature adult audience.
Yeah, that's. I remember when the Gamer Driver first got revealed, we said, "Oh, it reminds us of like '90s, extreme '90s gaming magazines and shit." I guess that's exactly what they were going for. Can't
Yeah,
say I'm shocked.
it looks like something you would buy and then you put it next to your tech decks.
Next to your Crazy Bones.
Oh my god.
Next to your GAC.
You'd put that shit next to your Floam.
Oh boy!
Oh man,
how many '90s words can we throw out here?
You'd put
Pogs.
it next to your Clinton administration.
Ooh, spicy.
Our next email is from Adam, who also doesn't ask a question. Although we had questions last time, so I guess this is the first one.
Okay.
Hey Jeff and Liam, and Tomaz. I am
Hi.
back with some fun facts. 1. Juju Burger's colors are the iconic McDonald's golden red.
You fuck ass. How did I not notice that?
Fuck you, Toei. Some Kyuranger voice actors have played some notable characters in the past, with Pink Alpha 5 being voiced by Gokai Yellow. Oh, that's neat.
Oh,
Furry Alien played by Zoro from One Piece.
I caught that. He's got a very
And-
distinctive voice.
Also, Mugen from Samurai Champloo. Big Black Bull is voiced by Blackjack from Blackjack.
I don't know what that. I don't
Snake
it's
from
an
Metal
anime.
Gear. And Dagon from Magiranger. And the
Oh.
android thief is played by Josuke from Juju's Burger Adventure.
Oh, of course, my favorite manga. Juju's
I didn't
Burger
even pick
Adventure.
up that Taurus was Japan. Well, I mean, it's not like I played Metal Gear Japanese, so I wouldn't
No,
notice
yeah.
that. But
Me neither.
Max mentioned to me, it's like, huh, that's kind of cool, actually.
P.S. I don't blame you for skipping Fies, Jeff.
Fuck you. I blame him.
Our next email is from Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake, of course.
He's just Jake.
Okay.
Hey, RCR. I have to say, I don't blame Jeff for skipping out on watching Fies last week. Perfectly understandable to choose sleeping instead of watching soap opera overdrama.
No, come on, guys. Back
Not
me up
feeling
here.
lucky.
Jeff, I wouldn't blame you if the next emails for the next 6 weeks are all like, they don't say it, but you say, hey, RCR, I don't blame Jeff for skipping Fies, by the way. Just at
Look,
the
I can
beginning
take
of every
screen
email.
caps of this shit if I need to. Not feeling lucky in Kyuranger so far. He's a little too over the top to me, but the rest of the crew seem alright.
Yeah.
I'm really happy that Dan and Parrot call each other out on their respective bullshit this episode. Parrod's axing of General Gun Guy, and dastardly Dan's unnecessary killing of Bergmon. Looks like Jeff's take on what Parrod's reason would be to go against him was right on the money. Dastardly Dan's laughing was amazing. Laughing and amazing smile cracked me up.
I love the actor that
I
played
liked
Dan.
I liked when he looked over when Spencer's Gifts was like yelling like, "Hey, no, we were gonna take his shit," and then he just like sharp zoom on his face, and he's staring her down, and his face just erupts in this disturbing smile, and she's like, "Ugh."
It's disgusting. The thing that cracked me up is when, they cut back to Parrot holding him by his collar, and they're both looking at Emu, and he has this, the most ridiculous smile on his face I've ever seen on anyone's face in my life. I'm gonna have to screen cap that shit and post it.
You should.
Questions. 1. Armor design wise. Which do you prefer more, between Red Riders or Blue Riders? I have to go with Blue because a suit like Gatack is just superb. I agree.
I like the color red more, you know?
I like Blue Riders better.
Generally, yeah, Gatack and Knight are both blue. I loved them. Gaim was blue. I thought his suit was pretty good.
What about, Ryuki was red and Kabuto were red?
Ah, that's true. I don't like Ryuki's base suit that much, though.
Yeah, it's a little too much red, actually.
Yeah, the red just sort of, his whole bottom half is just all red, and that doesn't really work with, a bright red like that. It doesn't look that great.
He's got a big red ass like a baboon.
Yeah, he needs some Superman undies to balance the colors.
I don't really prefer red or blue. I just kind of go by the design of the suit. I don't even really think about the color half the time. I'm more interested in the silhouette.
The only color that, immediately comes to mind when I think about the best color for a suit is Gatack's, because he has this really cool-ass, electric blue for his suit that's so awesome. I love it.
The metallic bright blue, yeah, it's really cool.
Because, Gatack is one of my favorite suits anyway, but I love it. I love that color. I guess that answers the question.
No, I guess.
Question 2. Favorite name in a Rider series for the villain's top squad / enforcers. Example, Lucky Clover and Fies, Horoscopes and Forze.
Oh. Holy shit.
I like the Greed.
But
Greedo.
Did the Greed have a name for a group of top men?
This
is really... I wouldn't remember this from shows that I've even watched.
Yeah, it's true.
Shit.
I don't think so.
I liked the Overlords from Gaim because they had a very tragic backstory, a lot of them.
That's true. It's a shame that they weren't the real villains, though.
Yeah, but they were the elite Inves.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Overlords.
They were the elite Inves.
I'm gonna snipe that before anyone else does.
Elite Inves?
The Overlords, the elite Inves.
Oh, okay.
The Overlords.
Shit, I don't really like the name Lucky Clover.
I do like the name.
It reminds me of Lucky Charms.
Is that bad? Cereal. Is that a negative point?
It doesn't make me afraid, it makes me hungry.
Well, you're so hungry you can't concentrate while you're fighting them.
I guess. I don't know, that's a really tough one, because you think of the big villains in Double are called Museum. You think about the big... There's not a lot that I can think of.
And most of the names are kind of dumb.
It's tough to pull off the cuff, and that's a name... That's definitely, Lucky Clover, I forgot. I watched it this week and I forgot about it, so I can't even imagine.
I do like Horoscopes. I do like that. I'm going to go with that.
You going to snipe that? Okay.
I'm going to take that. What about you, Tomaz? Pick the bottom of the barrel.
I can't even remember...
Can you remember any?
Most of the names, and most of the names that I do remember, they're just kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Pick the dumbest one.
What is your favorite name for any of the villain monsters? In the overall name, Grongi or Lords?
Well, I'd honestly have to look at a list of them, but I like the Grongi. It's alien. It's different.
Yeah.
It's sort of it's a very othered enemy. It makes you feel very who the hell are they and why are they screwing with us? It's not just some appropriated name like Horoscopes. Oh yeah, I mean, because there's a horse, but that's a human thing. Grongi, that's entirely a different language. Like,
Yeah,
That's
like
true.
it's not like unknown where it's a name given to them by humans. They're Grongi. It's a name that suits them. It's as weird as they are. It's good.
So you guys are both choosing Grongi?
Are we fielding this question to all of us now?
Yes.
Well, fuck. I like Lords. Lords just sounds incredibly cool.
Yeah, that's true.
The gang of enemies
I like
are called
that too.
Lords. Yeah.
I've actually forgotten what the enemies in Blade are called.
Undead, I think.
Undead. Yeah,
Undead.
that's alright.
That's a little
I
generic.
actually really like the name Orphanok.
Yeah, Orphanok sounds super cool.
Orphanok is
actually
a really
do.
cool word.
I do like that.
If we're gonna be very liberal with it, I like TV Nihon's translation of Kaijin is Inhumanoid.
That is
I really
my
like the
favorite.
sound of Inhumanoid.
I do too. A lot of people think it sounds dumb, but I fucking love
I
it. Like
love
I'm gonna
that.
use it in some story one day. I'm just gonna steal it. I don't give a shit. I like dopants a lot as well.
Yeah,
Oh, the
Dopant sounds
Dopants.
a little silly for me.
It's
Dopant?
because he's saying it wrong. It's Dopant.
Dopant?
I
Still
don't
sounds
give a
silly.
shit.
It either sounds like a dope or it
It's-
sounds like a
it's-
pair of pants.
No, it's like dopant, like doping, like you're using steroids.
No.
Get it?
Oh.
No.
That's what it means.
No.
What does
Tomaz
it
is
mean
in
then,
denial.
Mr. Japanese? What does it mean?
I don't fucking know the etymology of the syllables. I just know
There
that
you
you're
go.
saying it wrong.
They're saying it with an accent, shithead.
Yeah, they're saying it because it's their fucking language.
Dopant isn't a Japanese word.
No,
not
but
It
a
doesn't
word,
mean
period.
anything.
it's built with their... Fuck off.
You sound like half our fucking fan base. Anyway, I'm gonna go with Orphanok,
That's a good choice.
or should I say Urfinoku?
Urfinoku.
I don't... You don't... I wouldn't lambast you for that. I don't
Join-
care. That's close enough. Like, that's fine. It's just...
Join in on the make fun of Tomaz cast.
Dopanto.
I'm gonna fucking jump on a cliff.
You're forgetting the O in Dopanto.
They're-
Thanks for writing in, everybody. We really appreciate all the emails we get, even if we go off on tangents 99% of the time. You know what? You could send us an email and have your question right on the air. What a treat, right?
Yeah, what
You
a
could send it to
fucking privilege.
riderclubradio@gmail.com.
Or you can follow us on Twitter at Rider Club Radio.
And if you're going to send us questions on Twitter, like, DM them to us. Because, believe it or not, we get a lot of messages on Twitter.
Yeah.
And we
Well,
lose
tweets
them.
at us. Yeah.
I'll try to stay on top of them a little bit, but I apologize. To everyone who's asked questions and hasn't had them answered. You're
Yeah.
burning Rider Club Radio questions.
Anyways, have a great week. Make sure to watch Fies. And
Yeah.
see
Make
you
sure
later.
to not watch Fies.
Make sure to definitely watch Fies.
Make sure to, when you're playing Russian roulette, to always chamber the bullet correctly.
Don't use an automatic.
Oh, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Goodbye.